Hello, students, and welcome to another amazing episode of How to Model Cool Stuff. What we will do today? Today we will learn how to do this. Click and click. Isn't that cool? Exactly. I think so too. Let's take a look at an even more complex model. Here, including all the additional elements. They're moving with it. What magic is that? No, there is no magic. It's simply very basic modeling techniques animators use. And this is another example of why I make the case for that as an industrial designer. Yeah, we should learn more than just one 3D modeling application. For example, Fusion for precise modeling, Blender for concept modeling, because they both perfectly inform each other. So how do we do this? Actually, it's very simple. Let me go back here to this version. What do we have here? So it's just a geometry, which is nice and flat. And then you see there is an arc. And along this arc, I am bending actually this piece. There's the model part, then we add the subdivision, we add all that stuff, and the result there gets bent. Okay, very good. Then let's get started. Here we are in a new file where we just only have the iWatch in it. The first step, what we want to do is bring in a flat template of a wristband. I have a download link inside the description. Feel free to Google whatever you would like to use. So I go to image and reference. There I have the piece downloaded. There is this image. Very nice. This image now I will have to scale down till it starts matching. And there I can see that where the image is, it's intersecting the watch, not really where I want it to intersect. So I will put the image below the watch, and then it's much easier to actually scale and position it correctly. A little bit left and right, a little bit more scaling, and oh, interesting. My hook here is actually pretty close to what we see there. Okay, good, nice. We can select this image, turn opacity down, maybe a quarter. Then it's not so much in our screaming into our eyes, and we can turn this off so we cannot select it. Very nice. So this is now actually a good template, the short piece, the long piece, and we will start with rebuilding version number 1, which is kind of like a magnetic wristband. So Shift S, cursor world origin, Shift A, plane, tab edit mode, S, and we scale this one down. I still have this one turned on. Very good. Now we move this to here, a little bit more S-ing around, and there, and then it's a little bit dragging around to there. Okay, these two S and X a little bit further apart. In object mode, how wide is this object? 20. Yeah, okay, let's go with 2 centimeters. It's fine. Very good. Because I did a scale, Alt A, and do, no, was it Alt A? No, it was Control A. Control A, apply scale, or object, apply scale. Very good. Then we can see this is way too high. Let's move the object down. Very good. You know, maybe to there. And then the next step, we have to start sculpting the loop area. So this I will bring back. Go to a side view, zoom in, go to wireframe, maybe a little bit closer, and then E and extrude, E and extrude. And I'm building actually kind of like a hexagon in E and Y, and I go simply back. I don't really know how long is this line or edge, so let's turn on the edge length. And this is maybe difficult to read. So it looks like 4 millimeters. If I drag this edge, I can see the readout. And I'm going to make this 1 centimeter long. So there, 10 millimeters. Okay, very good. So next step, and this is paper thin, it's kind of pointless. Let's give this some thickness. 1.5 millimeters, even thickness. And then here with this offset, we can see go in and go out. Yeah, this is actually correct. This looks very choppy. So let's go and add a sub D modifier. Maybe 2. Okay. This is kind of terrible. We want this rounded look. So Control R, make a loop cut in. We slide this back. Now this edge got straighter, but this is still way too arced. So Control R, 2 loop cuts there. Click and right click, and then S and X, and we can scale this. Maybe let's go to the top view. Where's the other loop cut? There it is. There. Oh, good. This looks actually like nice rectangular pieces. Okay. So maybe select these 3 edges, and then okay, maybe move this a tick back. Okay. Let's continue adding more lines. I will turn off this and this for the moment, so you see the geometry. Control R, and then I will add more loop cuts. And I'm shooting for that these are nice squares. So not this and not this. Just squares. That's fine. Why squares? Well, they deform evenly, and when we add the subdivision surface modifier, all this gets incrementally smaller anyway. So I don't have to subdivide it too small. Very nice. Good. By having actually added all these extra loop cuts, this previous long edge is actually more straight. So now here we have nice round corners, as you can see. Okay, very good. So here we also maybe want to add 2 loop cuts, or maybe just 1 loop cut. Okay, yeah. In object mode, shade smooth. And then when we take a look at this, it's kind of roundish here. It's not really beautiful. How can we fix this? We can do this right inside the solidify modifier. We go to we go to edge data, and then this crease, inner and outer, we can pull, and this actually straightens it. There. When we then go to here and turn on auto smooth, we get super sharp edges. We then go back to here and say 0.8, 0.9. We can bring a little bit of that stuff back, but we always have a little bit of a sharp edge. So we don't want to lose ourselves here in technicality. A soft good is really, I could model the cross section better, really, if I want, but then this would be a little bit more work. Right now, I'm more exploring the proportionate design. So we take this sharp edge, simply, I don't want to say as a shortcut. This is a concept study. So this is good for what we're doing right now. Okay, very nice. So all this looks pretty fine. Besides, there's way too much space. So side view, wireframe, and I turn all this off. No, I mean on, because when I now go into edit mode and turn even this on, you see how the geometry or the polygon cage is projected or shown as the end result. So nice and smooth. Point select, then AA, and then what I can do now is, so you get closer AA, you get closer AA, you get closer AA, get closer AA, closer AA, maybe closer this way. Yeah. And then, so here, hold on 1 second. Okay. Yep. We can bring this to there, and then I'm actually pressing B and then the middle mouse button. I deselect. So all this, including this, I could G and Z and bring a little bit down. Okay. I was kind of shooting for kind of like the midline here. So it's a little bit above. It's just okay. Goodie. Okay. Now this looks actually nicer, tighter. In real life, in case there would be some sort of stitching happening, we could add more of a loop cut here just to push these closer to there, like we see there now. Okay, good. So, very nice. Then let's do the same on the other side. Shift D and escape. And then I go into R180. Very good. Now this piece is way too long. What do we do here? Well, we go in, AA, B, select a nice chunk, X and delete. Select the rest with B, move this back. See, oh, this was actually a really good guess. AA. I just delete this section. Go to here. Yeah, really good. AA, B, select all this. And then I will go to there. Edge and edge. Bridge edge loop that fills this stuff back in. Now, the thing that happened, what I do not like is you see how this is shorter than those. So I will maybe go ahead and stretch this out a little bit. Yeah, and then I want to be precise. I can select all these. This is my last point selected. I can go to here, active element. You see how the 3D widget moved to there, and then press, this is the y-axis, S and Y and scale this tick down. Okay, this was a minimal adjustment. This is fine. Very good. Okay, nice. So this is all pretty good because I have my object center here. And my watch also is very symmetrical. These are symmetrical. I could just make a copy and rotate this over, and it perfectly fits. Beautiful. So before we continue adding more details to it, let's look at how can we bend this piece now. Shift A, and then we will add a circle. 64, okay. S and scale this one down. R and Y there, maybe S and X in my case. Bring this a little bit more like this. So you see, I'm kind of like creating myself a small, how could I say that, template. And this piece I will move a little bit back so I can always take a look at it from this view, but when I go into 3D view, it's not under it. Okay. So here comes now actually the interesting part. What we need to do is, I'm going to move the 3D cursor right to there so you see where it has to be. This will be kind of like our center point. There we will create a path which then flows, or we model this way, and along the path we will bend this piece. Okay, very good. So let's do the following. We go to top view, Shift A, and then curve. Bezier is very good. S, and we can scale this one down. We can see this has a Y direction, so Y and 0. This has now a scale factor. That's fine. go into edit mode. So tab, and we will select this point. Very good. Shift S, cursor to selected. Tab object mode, right click, and set the origin to there. Okay. Oh, hold on one second. Control A and scale, right click, set origin to the 3D cursor. There, interesting. I don't know why it didn't work. Okay, very good. So everything is nice and straight when we go into edit mode. So this is actually kind of like a spline we have in Illustrator. Back in object mode, we will move this one to Y, no, actually X0. Very good. And then R, we rotate this one by 90 degrees. Very nice. And you see what's really important is, I mean, in local mode, you see the X actually goes that direction. And my 3D cursor, I move for the moment to there, so it's out of my view. Because what I want to do now is this, I kind of like want to really position right at the center of the wire. How can we do this? Easy. We go into edit mode for this wire, Shift S, cursor to the selected. Now I perfectly found that center point, and then hue. Shift S, selection to the cursor. Yes, thank you. And then you here, Shift S, no, sorry, right click, origin to the 3D cursor. So the spline grows from here one direction, and the geometry grows two. Okay. So next step. To this, we will add now a deformation. Welcome to Curve Deform. It's a pretty fun tool. Curve object is this one. Very good. Along X, yep, that is all fine and good. Control R. So let's apply the scale. I mean, not the scale, the rotation. So what is going on now? And hold on one second. Bring this one back. Scale this one. Okay. So we deform this one along the x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. Yeah, what's going on here? Okay, so this is one of the annoying parts of how this modifier works. So it says actually along the x-axis. When I select this object and show the widget and local, okay, so there you see this is my x-axis, but the line actually goes this way. Okay, so that means we will go into edit mode. Shift S, 3D cursor around, pivot point to 3D cursor. Press A for everything, R, and then we rotate this 90 degrees. Very good. Then you see how actually the spline grows from the center along the x-axis to the right side. Okay, this is good. And now this piece, we will R and Z move back kind of like to there, minus 90. Okay. And this piece, when with the local selected, you see X is actually this direction. Okay, so we will do the same. We're going to edit mode, select everything, R and 90 and minus. So it goes to the right, in object mode, back, and then R 90 there. Very good. Okay. There are some other funny things happening. Radius 1, okay, and here radius and 1. Very good. There we are. Okay, that was a little bit maybe more complicated than I anticipated. Very good. Hey, we have another second piece. Let's do that there. Okay. So, what's actually this position? This position of the 3D cursor is... where is it again? Where's the 3D? Wasn't it in view? Oh yeah, there it is. So along the y-axis, it is minus 24.5. So let's set this to positive, and there you see we moved the 3D cursor to there. Beautiful. Shift A. Add the Bezier curve. Very nice. There it is. Go into edit mode, and then U, Shift S, selection to cursor. Well, we snap it to there. This one here, S, we can scale down. Very good. It is already looking to the right side. Very nice. And when I go back to the item here, I guess when I actually scaled the object before some of these values got changed, you see here tilt and weight is all 1. And this is all here 1. Now this is all good. So what I will do now in object mode, I rotate this 90 degrees, negative, very good. There we are. And in object mode, I bring this one back, and you see the handles are really large. Here's a little trick. Press A, and then we go to, let's see. No, that's not there. Where is this again? Yeah, set handle type. So the V command. We make this a vector. You see vectors and basically a line. And it's a nice little shortcut to straighten all the handles. Handles are these things. And then we get actually easy points there. We bring this one to there. Very good. Okay. Very nice. Then back to object mode. Select this one. Where this 3D cursor now is, Shift S, no, sorry, right click and origin to 3D cursor. So we move it to where the origin of that spline is. And then we can see this is incorrect. So edit mode, A, around that 3D cursor, R and 90. Nope. R and minus 90. Yep. Tab to go back into object mode, R and 90, move the object back. So now you see the x-axis of my geometry goes one direction and the x-axis of the spline goes the same direction. Very good. Then here we will go to curve, go to there, one more time, soup, there, beautiful. Okay. Now when we actually go into edit mode and select this point of my spline, I go to a side view and with G I move this down. Oh, look at what happened. Sweet. But it doesn't really deform, no, it just follows it. That's because this spline currently is set to be a vector, like the interpolation. If I click an endpoint and press G, I can start bending it. Yeah, and that honestly is all how we can bend this. Isn't that awesome? Suck. Particularly when you knew and it even threw me off, as you saw, the curve modifier and the spline can be a little bit wonky. But once you understand if it deforms along the x-axis, the spline has to go along the x-axis and the geometry has to go along the x-axis. That's really the biggest rule then we all set. Now, this looks a little bit crappy, how this is like very choppy. Okay, let's add another subdivision. Still not better. Well, that's because the spline is actually pretty choppy. With the spline selected, Let's set this to maybe 32. Then it's much softer. In here, we don't even need so many subdivisions. Beautiful. Let's go to here. Now we know 32. Very good. Side view, edit A. Select this one. Vroom, vroom, and vroom, vroom. Oh, what do we see? We have a hole. So what's the problem? Well, the problem simply is the ellipse I created is actually way too big. So now I can make this smaller. Maybe to there. I don't know. Go to this ellipse. Sorry, spline. Model this more. That's actually the cool part. I can stretch the path out, but you see the geometry will not be stretched over it, which really is actually very useful when we want to just model actually how something like this would be deformed. Okay, so there it starts to overlap. That means that here, this one, we maybe can now try to scale down a lot more. So maybe like this. Okay. We can actually edit multiple objects at the same time. I have both splines selected. So I press Tab, and then here I can move this around. So let's say you will be inside. Okay, and then here you will be more on the outside. Now you have to go over the piece. This handle here is too short. I have to pull this one out more. There. And there we're getting close. Yeah, look at that. See? Now we have more overlap actually. We could maybe, where's the, that's the polygon. Yep, make this even a tick smaller, not too much. Let's say like this. Very good. There are my two splines. Let's do the same thing one more time. Zoom, and zoom. It's very enjoyable. It's kind of a good exercise to do. Wait, no. The long one is actually in the inside, and the other one is on the outside. Why didn't anybody tell me that? There. Okay. Beautiful. This goes to there, and then have to rotate it this way and there. Okay, very good. Oh, it's getting closer and closer. There, and then there we can see how we're going to try to fit this one. I'm a little bit struggling getting kind of like this arc here. So what I will have to do is I might have to select these 2 points, right click and say subdivide, and add another 3rd point in between. So this one I can beautifully arc. So I'm arcing actually the spline more. There. Yeah, this is much better now. And we can get this closer. Very good. Yeah, so there it is. Actually, our first version of, yeah, the wristband. Now, and this is basically proof of concept. Now we would like to add more stuff to it. For example, some nice bumpy stuff. And this is just really, again, the cool aspect of working with modifiers or interactive modeling, particularly here in Blender, and using animation modeling tools. You see I turned off the curve deform modifier. So now I have my flat geometry back. Here is my object, Shift S and cursor to selected, Shift A, add a cube, tab and scale it down. Go to a side view. Did I add a cube? No, I added a mesh. Okay. Add a cube, please. There. Top view, object mode, bring this over in edit mode. S and Y, scale this down, maybe a little bit closer. Edit mode, S and Z. You see I'm switching between edit mode and object mode all the time. Very good. We might actually do this rather here, because this we will turn into something nice and round. There, back into edit mode. Control R and Control 2 times R, or Control R and mouse wheel, I mean. And then let's give this a sub D. There. A, right click. And where is the shade smooth? Hidden. Shading. Nope, nope, nope. That's not it. Object mode, right click, shade smooth. There. Very good. Okay, now we would like to make this really nice and round. So Alt click on this edge, S and X. There. Very good. This looks better. Side view. I still have this, S and Z, and I move this one up. A to select everything, S and Z, and we scale it all back to flatten it a little bit. Yeah, that looks now like a nice, kind of like a pill that's inside. Very good. So this whole piece, we will give an array and 0, maybe 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that looks good. I leave it, or I keep it where it is right now. Then now Shift Alt, yeah, Alt D. So we make a clone of the geometry and escape. RZ 180. Then we move this one down, maybe to a similar position. Give it more steps. Let's see, when we line this end to end, is this gap similar? Yeah, plus minus. So U1 less and U1 less. How does this look? Yeah, looks kind of okay. Goodie. So what can we do now? Again, this is where the modifier stack comes in very useful. We will add this to here via Boolean command. So Boolean command, union, and add this one. And then this piece, you might want to hide. But here's now actually a really important step. If I turn this curve on, we have this stuff. What's going on here? Well, this makes totally sense. Solidify, sub D, bend, and then we are adding this. Well, this is kind of garbage, so this has to be on top. This makes logically more sense. So there's a piece, we add the stuff, and then we bend it. No? So here we do the same. Boolean modifier, drag this up, union, add these pills. Very nice. Then we can bend this. There we are. Much, much better. Then actually we can go ahead and start moving this around more. For example, now they're kind of like intersecting. This is not good. So maybe this a little bit to there. Here, when I move this, you see how I'm pushing actually the band forward and backwards a little bit. Yeah, there we are. That's what we were talking about. Okay. Very good. Yeah. So that is actually how easy it is to create a structured wristband with like a basic geometry boolean onto it, and then we bend the wristband into the shape. Now we do not model the wristband deformed, we model it flat. The advantage actually of this technique is also if we would like to make a pattern, we cannot easily take measurements from, well, the geometry because it is flat, it's not round. Okay, very good. Now this was the first one. Then let's clean everything up a little bit. We will create a new collection, wristband, a new collection, and we could call this one maybe, I don't know, 1. And then all this, besides the image, we will just drag into there. Yeah. Oh, and also here, this ellipse, we will keep outside. Very good. Where did the ellipse go to? By the way, if you press M, we can move it to particular collections. And here, this just go to there. Oh, good. There it is now. Beautiful. And this I can turn off. Very nice. Okay, good. We can make a little bit of copy and paste. So these two, Shift D and Escape and M, and I will move the copies into the wristband collection. And then we will also rebuild the curves one more time, simply as additional practice so you understand how quick this process works. But before we do this, the Boolean commands here we remove. Very nice. Very good. So this is actually correct. Shift S, cursor to the selected. Shift A, Bezier spline. Very good. In edit mode, V, and set it to vector. And then this one, Shift S, cursor, no, select it to cursor, move to there. Very good. Now, this is the correct orientation. So the spline goes to the right along the x-axis in object mode, no? R and 90 and enter. Then I can go back into edit mode and move this one simply back till I reach kind of like the point there. Very good. Okay, nice. Then I can select this one here, override this, so remove it and select this as the new blend curve. No, not blend curve, bend curve. Let's turn this on. I would like to know where are all these tiny holes. They start kind of here. So Shift A, yeah, make a cube. This cube in object mode, I scale down. Then I move this cube to there. Scale this down. S and Y. There. Maybe a little bit higher. Very good. Alt A and apply scale. So this is all set to 1. Then I go into edit mode via tab, select edge select, and select these 4 edges. Very good. We want to add a bevel weight. Then we go to bevel. I have really no idea how much the value here is. I can use 0.4, 0.5, 0.7, 0.6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we can keep it like this. Okay. In object mode, right click, shade smooth. And outer smooth turned on. Very nice. So now we can give this array modifier. No. -6 maybe. Nope, that was way too much. -4. Wow, this is actually a good fit. Very good. Jump, 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 jump. Oh, interesting. Something is kind of off here. So maybe minus 4.1. Oh, yeah, that's good. Perfect. So this is actually the geometry for cutting the holes. Okay, so Boolean modifier. We drag this one above. You see actually how this is already kind of like being mass production. Turn all the stuff off. Very good. We know this is all now done. And where's my spline? There's my spline. Let's go to a side view and edit mode. Bring this one down. Bring this over. Bring this to here. And then why is nothing bending? Okay. It's properly turned off. Yes, it is there. Then let's go back into edit mode. And I turn this on, and then this, you see how this all projects onto it. Beautiful. I, however, want to find there's my spline. Very good. I bring this to here, bring this to there, there. Yeah, what do we say? We used actually 3 points here. So there's one in between. Thank you. This makes life a lot easier. Okay. Also, again, to make this look nice and smooth, 32 subdivisions for the curve. And look at that. Now we have actually that flexible wristband, including the holes bent over. Sweet. Okay. Then we have to do the same stuff here again. Shift S cursor to the selected. Shift A, add a PCA curve, edit mode, U, Shift S, selection to the cursor. Here, this you go back, and A and V and vector, very nice. This is the orientation, very good. So tab to be in object mode, and then we rotate this over minus 90 degrees back into edit mode, and then this we can bring back kind of like to there. Goody. So how do we do actually the rest now? It's actually quite interesting. So we need to model first the loop, and then we need to put in the metal loop too. So let's go to the wristband first. Tab and Z and wireframe. I go into top view, AA. I will select all this stuff, say delete edges. So all this is gone. AA, B, select this. Just select the faces. Thank you. Shift D, make a copy. R and 180. Then point select. It might be a good moment to turn off the modifier. And then, what do we have here? Oh, I see. Okay. G and then hold control and snap. So the next step is really important. AA. Here with B, I can select these two edges. We want to fuse them. There. So this is now 1 point, not 2. Since we did this, important, let's do a face orientation check. Okay, so nothing is twisted. That's good. Yeah, that should all work well. Let's go to the top view. It's a little bit too short. So yeah, how can we... how do we fix this? Well, I will select all this and bring this to there, AA. Then I will select these here. Let's see. Can I put in another loop cut there? No. I will move this. I will center them to there. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. G. Oh, look, there's actually a loop cut I can put in there. What about here? Ah, that one is good. But in my case here, all this plus you. Yeah, okay, that's better. Goodie. Also here, this is wrong. Where's my other curve? There. Thank you. So along, come on, along there. I just was like, why are you not deforming? What's wrong? And I realized, wah. It's a straight piece. So I love it when this happens. It's getting late. Time to go to bed soon. But I need to finish this video. So this piece will be actually in the inside. So how can we kind of like bend this to maybe like this? There. That looks okay. 32, U2, not the music group, but the command. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so yeah, it's coming to summer. You see, step by step, we're working towards it. Okay, now we need to do the metal part. To do the metal hook, I will actually recycle something like this, Shift D and escape. Then the mirror is off, the sub T we can keep. This one goes over, the object is rotated, so 0. Then we go into edit mode, select these 2 points, F, there we are. Tap back, bring this back, maybe, zip, go down to there. Yeah, bring, kind of like center it. Very good. In edit mode, we select these 2 points, Shift S, cursor to selected. In object mode, or right click and origin to 3D cursor. Beautiful. Okay. Then we have to also make this metal piece. Before we do this, let's cut in a small cube. So Shift A, make a cube. Cubes are so awesome. There we are. Yep. So you Boolean cut this, come on, cube. Okay, good. And then where this is, Shift A, plane, Tab S, and we scale this one down, kind of like till it fits in, like this. We can move this one up, move this over a little bit. I go to a side view and wireframe, move this one down. Okay, AA, select this, and then Ena, Zio, Tria, Tessa, Panda, and I think my Greek actually stops. I also learned Dutch. French, I tried. Oh, French wasn't even really a full year, it was just half a year, so let's not count that one. Some loop cuts, very good. The loop cuts are useful because we can bring this one down. Awesome sauce. Then we give this a solidify modifier. Where is it? Solidity, there is solidity. Whoa. 0.5 millimeters. Wrong direction. Even thickness. Then sub D, maybe 2 for edge data, 1 and 1. Okie dokie. Maybe 1 loop cut? Nope. Maybe 2 loop cuts. Yep. Better side view, Z and wireframe. We can here turn all this on, so we know exactly how our stuff looks. And we can sculpt actually the flow better with just crazily, madly smashing B-A-A-G onto the keyboard. Yeah, look at that. A-A, there. This is getting better. Okay. No. No, 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 no. There. No, no. It's still kind of like kinky down there. Kinky. Man, that's not what I meant to say. I meant more not smooth. Okay, kink. It has a kink English. So shade smooth, outer smooth. Okay, so goody. Here comes now actually the fun part. This is even more animation stuff. How do we bring this one? How do we make this follow actually here? We could say, well, why not give this actually a deform along here? But then the mesh is being deformed. That's not what we want. We kind of like only want this to follow this geometry. And there's a very easy trick or tool basically. There's a tool for it, so it's not a trick, it's just a tool. Let's call this one pin. Okay, and then we call this object, where is that actually? Hello, wristband, there. We call this one pin loop. Okay, so we go to here, we go into edit mode, we go into wireframe mode, AA, and, or actually no, it's easier if we do not go into wireframe mode. So 1, 2, this is one axis, 3, and then I select with the, I think the control key, the pin, for example. You see how the pin object is now highlighted, and I'm in edit mode for this mesh. And then I go to vertex and say make vertex parent. Yep. So what happened is this object became a child to these 3 points. Then here, this I turn off with control click on this. Basically, it's Mac and PC the same. Very nice. And chunk. Very good. Object mode. Cross fingers. Drums. And yep, there we are. See, pretty cool. Obviously, the orientation is incorrect. So now for this pose, we can very easily rotate it. This is actually not ideal there. Wait, how did this rotate? I rotated this actually freely. That was not very good. Inside view, I rotate. I rotated this in perspective mode and that actually twisted it. So we will go this way. Yeah. So how do we fix this? Well, it's actually very easy. All we need to do is go into edit mode for this curve and maybe push this back a little bit. You see how that moves all this back a tick. And leave edit mode. Then where is this curve? Go into edit mode there. And maybe move this a tick there. Then it looks like it's intersecting. There it does not. There it does. Well, there's just a limit. We could, if we want to be crazy, we could model the fold in here or for the wristband. Now, obviously, we're not going to do this. That would be too much. But for a quick visualization, look at that. It's actually really nice, very believable. So the last piece that's actually missing is here making this loop. Okay, so we have a hunch how this works. We will turn this off. Very good, AA. Click this Shift S. Or actually, we have the cursor still there. So, yeah, Shift A, plane. Tab S, zip, make this smaller, S and Y. In object mode, we bring this one over there. Then we can go into edit mode and select this edge and this edge, E and Z, and then F. So we filled it. We can give this a thickness, same value, 1.5 millimeters. There we are. This will sooner or later get some sub D stuff. There we are. Thank you. A right click. Is it on faith? Face, not faith. Face. Shade smooth. There. Very good. Control R. 2 or let's say 4. Control R down 4 2. Okay. Control R. Control R. Whoops. Wrong one there. Okay, so what I will do now is actually the solidify thing here, 1 and 1. With this, we will sharpen actually all these edges. There we are. There, beautiful. And A, move this one down. Okay, from the side A, S and X, move this in a little bit. In wireframe mode here, you see I selected these edges and these S and X I bring to the outside. This way there you can see I'm sharpening the edge. Very good. Yeah. And then here we call this one maybe band loop. Very good. Edit mode. So here like 1, 2, and 3. And then control, where is the band loop? There it is. Vertex parent. Thank you. And now, let's see. Is this even in the correct position? Oh, yeah, it kind of is. Now we can go ahead, go into edit mode. And you see we model now in, let's do all the Onshape people geek out. We are modeling in context. So see, and I brush along, bring this one in. So I'm making this a little bit tighter. This is not 100% correct. Maybe a little bit to there. Technically speaking, this is maybe a little bit bent. We could even let this flow along the bend curve. The problem, however, is the inside will be small and the outside will be wider, kind of like a trapezoid. It's not really correct. This is actually fine. Again, this is a concept. This is not a manufacturing model. We can also correct a few things via Photoshop. And again, this is just a concept. We are not trying to simulate reality here. Even while what we're doing, we borrow a lot actually from how the materials would deform in real life. Very good. Yeah, then we can go ahead and say you, and you, and you. Wait, not this one. And all this, we will press Control M. No, M, just M. New collection to K, and there we put all this in there. Besides the pieces who decided not to go to there. Zip. And then these here will turn off again, so they do not show up in my view as well as my rendering. And now we modeled the more complicated wristband. Okay, perfect. So 2 ways, or basically same way one time with a more simpler and this time a more complicated model, but you saw that the steps pretty much really are the same. Okay, peace out.